growing up, I was in a really abusive situation, and there were a lot of men in and out of my life from my mom.
I wasn't a believer in the Lord. I believed in God, but that's all I knew. All of a sudden, I got a letter, somebody looking for child support, and said that I had a 3-year-old daughter. Didn't know what to do, so within 24 hours, I drove to the only lead I had where that mail came from. And I walked in, I said, "Hi, I'm this guy, what do I do?" And so I saw a lifestyle that my daughter was living in that was really dangerous and bad. For me, the only thing I knew how to do, which is something I've never done before, was I cried out to God. I wanted to just clean up my life, from drugs, from alcohol, from partying, from just a reckless Hollywood lifestyle. I started going to church, and it took a few years, and God opened the door that once a month I was able to somehow come see Kristi. And I just thought, what judge is going to rule in my favor? But it got so bad that I just finally called a lawyer, and she turned out to be a Christian. Everything stacked against me, against a Mormon family. And miraculously, we won full custody.
When he got custody of me, I was 7 years old, but I was like a 3-year-old because I hadn't had any real parenting. So he had to start from square one. My dad was not only an actual dad, but he was like my friend. And I think that's really cool because, God's our dad, but he's our friend. I was going to youth group. There was a guy that started coming there as well. And we became friends pretty quickly. He was very manipulative and would like to threaten a lot of self-inflicted harm based on what I would and wouldn't do for him. I'm super depressed and I'm going to kill myself if you don't do such and such things. And it got to the point where it was obvious that what he was pushing towards, and I freaked out. And I froze. And I said no, and I tried, but I was just frozen. Shortly after I figured it out that I was pregnant, I saw this life that I had, and it was being thrown upside down in my mind at that point. We had a lot going on in our life. We were getting ready to move, we were getting ready to graduate and move to New York because I had gotten accepted into my dream college here, and I was 7 months along at that point. And I was super small, so people didn't know, but it was starting to get to the point where yeah. And the person that asked me talked to my pastor, and my pastor talked to my dad. And so I went and sat in my room, and I just waited for him to come in. And I was terrified. I didn't know what to do. And I felt like a disappointment. And he came in, and he didn't even say anything at first, even remotely related. He was just telling me how much he loved me. I knew he knew, but he didn't say it. He just kept telling me how much he loved me and supported me in everything that I was doing. He made me feel immediately like we want to take care of this baby, and we want to make sure that she knows she's loved and not feel like she's hidden and shamed. And so we started, going to doctor's appointments and getting caught up on everything. And everything that I was afraid of didn't happen. I was fine. I graduated school. My school knew, and they were okay. My dad supported me through everything, and
Actually, I like to just think it's all about me. God didn't want me to, he's making up for those 3 years I missed with her. So now I get to change diapers with her, with my granddaughter, since I didn't get to do it with Kristi. It is the greatest gift I've ever received, 2 of them now, ever. Again, if I would have got everything I wanted, I would have shortchanged myself. I was a single bachelor wanting to be a movie star, film director, this or that. Well, God's certainly given me a lot of stories to tell. She was going to go to New York and go to school, and I was going to support it and come visit. But then I thought, I'll go with you and take care of the baby with you. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But we found a great church here.